can't see me.
All right, this is the CSRN Community Solidarity Response Network, our weekly podcast. And I caught you in mid-sentence again. All right.
I know people in the green room don't like me. They just stuff this.
I know.
They don't get extra sugar cube this week.
Right. And I don't know how it's looking to you, but for whatever reason, our lighting person is not doing what they normally do. All right. So hey, listen, we're waiting for everybody to come in, and we'll officially start. And as you see, we've got our new picture here.
Yep.
It is in on some of our guests to let them know they can pop on in.
And we'll be right back because we're going to try something new. Instead of giving everybody just 30 seconds to log in, we're going to try this.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, we are back. We're back. Hey, listen, this is the CSRN Community Solidarity Response Network. This is our weekly podcast or our weekly video minutes where we talk about some of the things that we've done or we've been involved with last week, the things that we're doing right now, which is getting ready for our guests to come on. And while I'm right here, Jody, I really need to check and see. Hey, listen, family, if they're in the green room, hey, come on. Let me do a quick messaging right here. I think
good. As everybody can see, we're trying to add, I guess, new technologies going on with the lights. So I'm trying the whole YouTube thing where you put the white paper up or something like that. And you can see better lighting. It's a little bit brighter.
We're on our next break.
But I don't want to cover up the face every 5 seconds. So,
So
technology, we got the little timer now.
Yeah.
Coming real podcast.
All right. Hey, listen, boss.
Two of us.
Right. Well, we've got three guests on right now that's checking out.
Oh yeah. We got three guests, and we always got people coming in and out. So I think that's good. But I guess back to the normalies. We're gonna open like we normally do.
All right. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I use the pronouns he and him. I'm one of the co-founders of the Community Solidarity Response Network, along with Mike Leonardi and Drabil Bay. Man, they had an idea back in 2014, Jody, that we could organize, and we don't necessarily have to be politicians, pastors, or preachers. It could be just ordinary people. All right. And I kind of fit the description, sort of, kind of ordinary. All right.
We all human.
Okay. All right. Okay. I don't know what the hell that means. But man, they had this excellent idea. And here we are, 7 years later, joined by so many wonderful people regarding this. And today I have on, if you can see, I don't know what's up with the lighting, but I have on a purple cashmere sweater. I've got a scarf to match my black hat. I've got my thick rimmed um, glasses on today. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting and protecting and defending all black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. And it is awesome to be here. This is the headquarters for Black Lives Matter, Justice or Else. Jody, if you could introduce yourself, what you got on, and then maybe we can get into our mission statement.
Yeah. So up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. I'm the treasurer of this wonderful organization, and just happy to be here, honestly, after 7 years of protest and marches and demonstrating and taking offices and actually kind of spoilers right now, just get elected official, all that stuff. So I'm a
True that.
Central Committee meeting right now, simultaneously, while I'm here with you guys, just making sure that I do all of the duties that I can with the very little time given. So, for the people that's out there, my pronouns would be him, he, and we, because again, in a meeting, doing some other stuff, a whole bunch of things at once, and thank goodness for technology.
That's
I guess
right.
you could say that you could do all this stuff. But also, I am a big brown bearskin. Wow. See, that's why I shouldn't be listening to people
That's
in my
right.
ear
That's
while
right.
I'm doing the meeting. But big cinnamon tone, big brown bear of a man that's covered in tattoos and crystals and bones and stones. I walk around with a big old staff that's got a snake emblem on it and a bone on the top and some coins and arrowheads. So that would be your visual representation of me, just in case you're listening to this on Spotify, in your car, you don't want to hold your phone, look at your TV, you may be multitasking like I am.
Right.
Voting on stuff that affects the city. But they do what I was doing. Anyway, that is me, and how we got here, how we continue to laugh through the protests and riots and the trauma and wars, the stuff in the world is because we have a good foundation. We have guiding principles, and see, that was his chance to click in, but he on the phone.
All right.
But we have our guiding principles and our mission statement, which keep us focused. So no matter what's going on in the world, we know what our foundation is.
I was just going to say, let's begin peace.
So if I pause, that's just because I'm trying to listen to stuff on the end for see. That's why y'all. But so this is how we stay together, and I hope if you have an organization, an LLC, a grassroots, that you pay attention to how things are set in stone. This is our mission statement. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer, of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the all. Equal justice applied to all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter. Yes, for all lives to matter. Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
And you know we've got Erica, our sister. All right, right. She's joining the green room. So
conversation with 30 people.
Right. Well, so we're gonna have to move this along because that's a busy lady. All right. We just can't just keep her hanging on. All right. And look, this is the CSRN guiding principles. This is what we use in order to organize without what they call imploding. All Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe?
Ashe.
And that means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe?
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe?
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe?
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe?
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe?
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe?
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe?
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe?
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe?
Ashe.
Man, I know we're expecting Erica on. I think she's on her way. Let's check out, see where she is. All right. Listen, we want to take a short break. We're going to come back.
Commercial break. Let everybody absorb Women's History Month and all the new memento things that have happened since it's the first of the month.
All right. And one of the phenomenal, yes, it is, just like Bone Thugs and Harmony. All right. That's why we know you working because you don't know it's the first of the month.
I got like 3 conversations in my head of just, listening.
Hey, listen, look, I'm going to play a short commercial right now. This is Brothers United, but it's featuring our sister Avis Smiles. Avis Files. All right, I'm smiling whenever I hear Avis' name. That's why Avis smiles. All right. Hey, listen, hang tight. This is CSRN weekly podcast, our video minutes. We'll be right back.
Pathway Incorporated Brothers United program believes that children are important. Every day we support and advocate for fathers because when children have involved fathers, the whole community thrives. The fathers that come into the Brothers United program are mostly young fathers who are primarily gang members or drug dealers or those involved in lots of trauma from the time when they were youth until now. The program has fatherhood classes, which teach you about your role as a father, the importance of being a father, healthy relationships, how to co-parent and work better together with your co-parent, and then economic stability, how to get a job, how to keep a job. It is so important for fathers to learn to take care of their children holistically, not just emotionally, not just physically, but financially as well, because children need a holistic approach.
I really just needed help with really better father and looking for a job to be able to support my kids.
Some of the problems I was facing when I joined Brothers United was communication with my children. Had some time apart from each other for a while, so they gave me the tools to really get back in communication with them.
Fathers will come into our program with their heads down. 2 weeks later, their heads are up. 3 weeks later, they're laughing and talking. 4 weeks later, they're building a bond. And by the time we get to 8 weeks, they're saying, hey, we want to stay here. What can we do to stay connected?
It gave me a better perspective on how to look at things from other people's point of view. You know, sometimes us as men, we get caught up in being prideful and arrogant, thinking we don't need the help. We do. And we just have to put our pride, selfishness, and arrogance to the side. And when the help is there, take it.
Hope plays the most important role in everything that we do, because we have to have hope. We have to remember that fathers are important, and we have to not only say it, but we have to live it. We have to breathe it. We have to do it. We have to convey it to everyone.
Let's get a BU Nation on 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3. BU Nation!
The dads give us hope. The dads supply for us on the days when it gets hard. On the days when we've seen more violence than we ever want to see. On the days when we've lost some dads to jail or to murder, they give us hope. And so the hope that lives can change, if you invest in them, if you believe in them, then lives can change.
Brothers United changed my life, let's say, because of where I come from, what I've been through. I learned to understand it is help out there. Don't be scared to ask for it. If you don't reach, you can't get up. That's it.
They made me more employable, more desirable by employers, which in turn helped me provide for my family and provide for my children and my grandchild. So it makes me a better man, a better father, and a better example.
It showed me like how to be better to my kids, so I went and got custody of my son. My son been with me for a couple months now. So this showed me how to be a better parent all around, just a better man, period.
Initially, I didn't know that it could change men's lives. I didn't know that fathers could change. But it's amazing to me when fathers come back a year later, 2 years later, and tell us thank you. Or they'll make a Facebook post and say, look at what I'm doing now. It's amazing to me about the level of work that we've been able to do and the lives that we've changed in just a short period of time. And the fathers who come back and say, thank you, I needed you, and you were there.
Shout out to Brothers United, man. Be you.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN, our weekly video minutes. Before we start, I really want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat. This is something that we've been doing since the beginning of the pandemic, Jody, when we used to meet at the Padua Center, every Tuesday in person. Oh, let me fix my mic. Something's going on here. There you go. All right. This is live podcast. All right.
Well, we got live, at least it's
with state-of-the-art equipment. But when we used to meet at the Padua Center, we'd invite everybody to come out.
Yep.
Hear some of our plans of the things that we wanted to do. If it was a protest, if it was a Black Lives Matter awards, if it was a
food banking,
food bank
giveaway,
right, or
aid to Flint.
Right, or mayoral or city council forum. People will come out and we would often, take the advice of of our members that come in, and that's what created the magic of CSRN, that so many people are included in making our decisions. Unfortunately, since 2020, man, we've been on this computer screen.
Yeah, a lot of the world has,
Right,
which is crazy.
right, and I keep saying this, but one week we're going to give you a definite date on when we're going to be meeting in person. It may be once a month, but that's going to have to, Jody. That's going to have to happen soon, because
Yeah.
a lot of things are going back to a bit more normal. Lots of churches are opening up. Lots of events are happening, and I believe that we can make a safe and secure environment that we can come, and all of us can
And
organize.
congregate, and that's how ideas are born. It's not just one person's vision. That kind of hits a little, and since we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of mental health and
Right.
all of that stuff, that for me, still 7 years later,
Right. Well,
kind of hits a trigger as
Yeah.
far as, this is something not to play with.
right. And
This
for
is a
me,
life.
yeah, it was one person, because Ruth always be the one that said either go or don't go. So shout out to Ruth, Women's History Month. That is our lead of the administrative core. We love you, Ruth. And also a big shout out to some of the people that's in the chat. Fred Lefebvre from WSPD 1370 is in the chat. We had a really good conversation regarding who I am, how do we organize, and what's this thing about creating awareness through protest. Rochelle Morningshaw, Morshaw is in. Yeah, I got it right. I saw you, but I read the cue cards. All right, and somebody's writing down. Hey, Sabrina, man, also Anika is in the chat. And thank you, everybody, for joining us, giving a shout out, giving an ashe. All of those things make a difference. Now, before Erica comes on, I really wanted to talk about Women's History Month. And yes, we got two brothers talking about Women's History Month.
Yeah.
Hey, but it's a good dynamic, just as we had some brothers on talking about mental health. When was the last time you saw three brothers talking about mental health and wellness without us trying to say, "Well, I don't need help. I'm on my own." No,
Yeah.
you're not.
I think our world of isolation and I think out of everything that happened, it forced a lot of the world to look at itself in the mirror for real, to stop routines and stop. I don't know if I'm making up new words, but it's the ones that want to come out of my mouth. Trauma
Yeah.
hoarding your trauma like it's some special gift when it's really just killing you inside.
I'm feeling that.
So I think a lot of people are, and it's brand new. Nobody's trauma is going to look like somebody else's trauma, and you can't say how they're supposed to deal with it. But you can kind of ease them to deal with it by not ignoring when they speak of something.
Right, right. So what I wanted to do just briefly is Women's History Month, and I wanted to talk about a few of the special women, in my life. I've got maybe I would say my top five, like they do when they talk about the rappers. Who's in your top five? All right,
Right.
More than that. But my top five for the women that are a part of my life that helped to make Brother Washington. I'm just not here on my own. I'm shaped and molded and checked and corrected by some awesome sisters out here. One of them is my wife, Sister Yvette Muhammad. 30 years ago, Jody, we met, and I was really, really interested, in her. She was really not interested in me, and obviously, that out. We worked through that, but she's the one that gives me those that, hey, look, you doing too much. hey, listen, I think you need to reel it back or whatever. Really, a lot of refining that takes place with Sister Yvette, along with just being an excellent helpmeet. All right, not a helpmate. All right, I don't need a helpmate, but she's
Partner.
a helpmeet.
Help
And
me. I like that saying.
right, and and she'll spill all the tea on what happens before Brother Washington leaves the house. If you think that we're fired up at a protest, I may just been told to wind it down 20%. All right. So she is my number one. My second, Jody, is my mother-in-law. Her name is Phyllis Brooks. And this is my first time talking about my mother-in-law. Excellent. She's a lawyer, so I realized that if I mess up with Yvette, I'm done. All right, it's a wrap. It's over with, over with. But my mother-in-law, who has been the opposite of what you think mother-in-laws are. If you watch TV, mother-in-laws get a bad rap because they're always portrayed as this person that hates the spouse. Know what I'm saying? But she's been everything to us, everything to her grandchildren, my children, and also really showed me what family is. My next is my boss. Her name is Myrtle Boykin. Myrtle Boykin Lighton. Let me make sure I get her name right because I'm going to be asking for a raise.
Right.
I'll be asking for a raise later on.
My check had a deposit.
Hey, right, because
video.
Right, I saw the video. I put my name different. That's who I am. But she is the CEO of Lima Humanop, and Lima Humanop has a lot of different entities attached to it regarding residential treatment, outpatient treatment, and I work in the capacity of recovery coach and mental health specialist. And she's given me a really great chance to not only make a living, but also, hey, look, if we got a protest going on, if we got something going on, I'm given the space to really make a difference in the community. And the next woman is Ruth, who serves as our lead administrative core of CSRN. And it is very important to have that sister energy a part of anything that you're doing to help balance it out. So we appreciate Ruth, and she teaches. She has a tremendously a lot of stuff on her plate, and we're also on her plate. We expect to see her either if not today,
Sometime
soon.
one of these videos this month, she gotta come.
Right.
Give us show some love. We know that you're doing a lot and busy, but we miss you, Ruth.
Right. And lastly, we're talking about Women's History Month, and
I got a couple names.
Right, and it's not necessarily for those people who we don't know, but the shoulders that we stand on. But there are people that we know that are making history. And I think the next person I wanted to bring up was my mom. I lost my mom this year, and I look at it as everyone has a term. All right, everyone has a date, so it's not a surprising thing that when your loved ones pass on. And what happens really is you get a chance to inherit all of the care, all of the understanding, all of the compassion that makes them who they are. So it wasn't for me a time of grieving and feeling sorrow because she ran a race. You really don't expect people to be there forever. I don't expect to be here forever, but I'm happy that I know that I have contributed something to our community that someone could benefit. So those are my top 5. I'm sure that I could easily have a top 10. And after you go, let's bring in Ruth, and have her introduce herself, and we'll keep it moving.
Yep. So And again, for the people that's wondering why I'm always looking down and doing something. Unfortunately, today I am not watching the show for sound. I'm actually in a central committee meeting, figuring out what's going on with redistricting stuff I can't talk about, but it's interesting. It shows me the scope of the world as I don't know, being an adult and getting all of this knowledge, and then you reach this age and you still don't know much. So there are women who taught me a lot when I knew even less than I did now or do now.
That's what's up.
The first one I want to say is Azalee Brown, my great grandmother. Um, the bits and stuff that I remember from her when we were kids, she used to pray over us. I know she was a full-blooded Blackfoot, and it was always weird. Like you see, and not to go into too much, but you see like these older, wrinkly people when you're a kid, and you're like,
yeah,
probably the wisest person on earth.
That's awesome.
And by that age, they've lived so much life. Well, for most people, because I worked in some nursing homes too, but they're just so kind and full of love. So, and then the next person is my grandmother, Melinda Nell Summers, who pretty much taught me survival, how to cook, how to sew, how to mend things, and puzzles. We used to sit up for hours just doing like 25,000 piece puzzles, putting them together with they're real puzzle pieces, not like you got 4 little blocks.
Right.
But that and figuring out Scrabble words, she taught me the love for words. She also, which ironically enough, taught me the love for rap.
Oh.
Which is funny because up until that point, I didn't, even to today, I still like classical music and just art forms, not so much as trend forms, trying to chase after somebody's style. But yeah, she introduced me to rap, and she used to do a lot of stuff. So, and then my mother, Lily Lynn Summers, who you'll be hearing about today in 5 minutes if he. But the woman that gave me life, and hers was taken far too short before we got channed. But book, I am child of the system. There's no need for explanation because you can Google me at this point and see where all this stuff comes from.
That's true.
But and then my sister, Selena Lynn Summers, who is probably one of the strongest women I know.
There's a beautiful picture of you and her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
She thinks she's older than me 95% of the time, but I'm still big brother. But out of all of the people that I've met on this planet, she has always stayed my rock. Even when we were separated in foster care, and then as adults when we were separated because I wanted to be young and live in hotels and travel on the road and do all this stuff. She never left. So her, and I guess I'm not good at specific people.
Okay.
But any person that lives up to their crown.
That's what's up.
No matter what race, religion that you are, if you live up to the crown of being that motherly, caring, nurturing person that most people don't get, I applaud you. I exalt you for everything that this difficult world tries to throw at you.
All right. And thank you, Jody. And listen, we are not that pressed for time, but we want to bring in Ruth. I think Ruth and Julian. Let's bring them into the chat because we've got our sister Sonia from Urban Holistics in the green room. All right, that is what.
Don't eat all the chips
right,
ginger ale.
Right. Well, she can grow us some more of that on City Park. Grow us some more chips. How ignorant is that? Hey, listen. Let's give a shout out to Julian and Ruth. Hey, what's up, fam?
What's up? What's up?
All right. Hey, you already know what it is. Hey, listen, we've got Urban Holistics in the green room. If you don't mind introducing yourself and what does Women's History Month mean to you?
Ladies first.
You can go
Ladies-
first. I got a lot to
first.
say. I got a lot to say.
Go ahead. Ladies
Go
first.
ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. So hello everyone. My name is Ruth Leonard. I am the administrative lead for the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo. I am a medium brown skin complexion woman. I am wearing a gray t-shirt that says Sojourner, Garrett, Phyllis, Frederick, and Edmonia. That's from the Black History collection from Target. What Women's History Month means to me is a continuation of Black History Month, which started for me on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It is a season of thriving and enjoying and celebrating all that it means to be a Black woman. It is a time where more attention is paid than normally throughout the year to the greatness that is the Black woman. It is a time that I spend a little bit more time just pouring into my learners different tidbits about Black women. It's a time that I kind of practice more self-care during this month, just because I know that it is a season of self-care for Black women.
That's right.
And I think it's a beautiful time because especially in the Midwest, where you don't know what type of day you're gonna get. Like I saw on the weather, I think on Sunday it's supposed to be like 60 degrees.
Yes.
And the next day it may be down to 45 or 50. And it kind of carries that wave of being a Black woman, where some days you're hot, hot, hot. Some days you just need to cool off. And it's like my birthday every day, right? Because it's a time where intentional attention is paid to the efforts, to the success, to the trials and tribulations of Black women. And so for me, that's what Women's History Month means to me, and that's why it's so important.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And listen, we've got Sonya. Somehow we got disconnected, so she's reconnecting. So that gives us enough time to listen to Julian. All right?
Yeah.
She
heard that. She was like,
okay. All right. All right.
Good afternoon, y'all. My name is Julian Mack.
Right after we hear from Julian, we'll take a short break. We'll come back.
Yep.
Hey, so what's up, Julian?
What's up, y'all? Good afternoon. My name is Julian Mack. My preferred gender pronouns are he, him, and bruh. I am wearing a Paula Hicks Hudson shirt that is 2 sizes too small.
Okay.
But
that's the pandemic. It's okay, brother.
I just had to describe it to those who may only be listening audibly. But with this being again Black History Month, we emphasize it for a month to emphasize the impact of Black folks everywhere and how important it is to study, learn, and expand our history. But going into Women's History Month, I think it's very important also to underline the contributions of Black women, because without Black women, we would not be here. All right. And then, I have to wear this shirt because the only Black woman to ever be mayor here in the city of Toledo, Ohio, is Paula Hicks Hudson, who is I consider to be a walking, living legend. And, I just have to say I love how she guides us as a community with love and with humor, right, as she continues to push the paradigm forward in her own way. But I appreciate the scope, and this is why it is important to, by no means is identity politics everything, but it does mean something in the lens that one has in a leadership position, right? And so when you consider the oppression that Black folks go through, when you consider the oppression that women go through, it's important to have that lens And I think that specifically that lens is what makes Black women so dynamic and
Beautiful.
compassionate and strong and resilient, right? And all the things that really prop us up as a community. It is because of that, triple consciousness, quadruple consciousness, to expound upon the words of Frederick of W.B. Du Bois, right? And he talked about the double consciousness of living in a country, right, that was that whiteness, and then also being a Black man. So,
Right.
it is with that spirit that I am here today, and I am very happy to be here. And I'm getting that look like the green room is
Yes, sir.
on in. So yeah, it's cool that we can even get that vibe through the screen.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Green room is popping.
That's right. Hey, listen, we're gonna take a short break. We're gonna come back with Christian. We've got Sonya, man. That's what's up, man. All right. So hang tough. This is the CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
All right, we are back. This is CSRN. This is the CSRN Weekly Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. Hey, listen, let's go ahead. If they can put Sonya in, and come on, where's Christian? Okay, they can put Christian in. All right, how you feeling, family?
Good. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm feeling good.
All right. Hey, listen, we want to thank you for being here. This is Women's History Month, and there are no one else that I'd like to be with today on this podcast than the lady that started the Urban Holistics. And I met her, she talked about her vision years ago in a small room at the Doug. Most of us thought she was crazy. The rest of us thought she was out of her mind.
That's like all your stories, too.
It is.
Who was
It
the
is.
same people?
Right. But you know what? When you have a vision, everybody don't see it. Everyone doesn't believe in it. Who would have thought that corner where the Art Tatum house was, that could be something of use? It was just McDonald's trash there. We drove by there for years. So listen, let's bring our sister in. Let me. We're gonna.
Them.
Yeah, let's pop us out. All right, let's pop us out. And so, Sonya, for the people that are watching, who are you? What is Urban Holistics, and why should people know about what you and your board does?
First of all, I want to say thank you for having us on. Kristen and I are happy to be invited. I wanted to speak to you a little bit about what we do at Urban Holistics. We are a organization that are making sure that we have holistic green spaces within our community that needs it most. We are also establishing a school of urban agriculture, along with a school of product formulation. And we are excited to talk about Minority Health Month that is coming up in April. And that's why we are excited to actually be here to blast out wellness for the whole month. So we have 2 days of celebration for that. And the first day will be a health and wellness lecture. And the second day will be resources at Tatum Park. You spoke about our meeting at Tatum Park, and we did meet years before that. But people probably still think I am a little crazy with what I'm doing. But hey, I like to be the person that try and create change and positive change at that. But we have a lot of exciting things to offer to the community for this event. And I'll let Kristen tell about some of the things that will go on for our 2-day event.
So, like Sonia said, it'll be a 2-day event. Unlike it was last year, the first one is really like a meet and greet, and we'll have Dr. Tanya Farmer from Warren, Ohio, come and talk about respiratory health. And she is a wealth of knowledge. And, we are still in COVID time. So it's good to have a doctor's perspective on respiratory health, how we can use preventative measures to stay safe and healthy. And Dr. Murthy Gukula, he's our local doctor here. He's been to the park a few times, but he'll be able to come and talk about what he does and how he practices more holistic medicine. And we'll have a performer, which happens to be my brother. He's a flautist, and he works in the community. We're both from Youngstown, but he works in the community. He is, an advocate for, bringing different things to the community and showing, us how music can play a role in overall wellness as well. And then, like Sonia said, the second day is at the park. So we'll do a lot of outdoor activities. We'll have yoga. We'll have a lot of vendors set up. So it's going to be a weekend full of fun, learning, community. So I hope everybody can attend.
All right. Now we've been watching we've been watching your page for a while, especially when the first flyer went up. And then there was another flyer with even more sponsors. And is it okay if I read off your sponsors so that people can see?
Please.
I also want to say good to see your faces as well.
I know. Good to see
Hi,
you. Long time
Jody.
no see.
Right. So Friday, April 1st, at the Truth Gallery. This is when everything starts. Doors open at 5:30. The time is 6 to 9 p.m. What day is the first? Oh, Friday. Okay, Friday. So I
The
can be
first is on a
available for that.
Friday. Yes.
I'll be there.
That's not too late for me. All right, I'll tell you that I can stay up if I want to.
It's my bedtime.
You ride your
On the
bike that
second, I'm
late.
shooting a movie, and I'm coming to the movie after your thing. So
Okay, thank you for plugging your movie on my part of the podcast. All right, Jody. I see what you're doing.
it's
All
about
right.
mental health and love. So hey, gotta put it in there.
All right. Hey, we've got Bucci Mamas. We've got Juke Mode, Toledo Urban Federal Credit Union. That's where we got our account. All right. And everybody, if you're out there, some people say, well, we don't have a black bank. Yes, we do. Come on, if you black, you got to know where Detroit and Door is. Take $25 and get an account. I don't care what you do with it, but how are we going to invest in our community if we don't support the financial institution that does that? The Community Foundation, the Greater Toledo Community Foundation, ProMedica, the Economic Community and Development Institute, Box House, man, Optigo. I got my glasses from Optigo.
Yay.
You know what? I was going to wear my Optigo glasses today, but man, I put these on because I wanted to have some type of look today. My fault, Kristen. We didn't know you were going to be on. I could have panned it to her. All right.
Okay.
But listen, I have my Optigo glasses, top shelf. There's no difference if you go to Stanton. Find this. She has the bus. Am I right?
Yeah.
The Optigo bus.
I think I've seen something on like the news or something about that.
Right. You'll see her posted up. Well, wherever you see her posted up, knock on the door, get some glasses. No use of us complaining that we can't find somewhere to get glasses. Well, she'll come to your house. So come on. She's eliminating the excuses for a lot of us. I think I said Box House is sponsoring this. Fit Zone is sponsoring this. What is this? The Urban South Youth Farmers Market. Man, all right, that's what's up. Holistic Hands is sponsoring this. Fresh Time. All right, that's where I'll go get my stuff at. Bench Farms, the Metro Parks, and Sonia Urban Farmer Natural Products. All right, and Miss Sonia, when you first started on City Park, you put the display up. I know I'm not alone. A lot of us were like, "What is she doing? You know, she doing too much." Um, you know, man, it be young people. All
You
right.
have the right to punch him in the arm when you
Yeah,
see him.
but it's the truth. It's the truth how we underestimate each other.
Mhm.
Also, Buckeye Health Plan, AmeriHealth of Ohio, and Tailor Made. I think
They
that's
are
what.
one of our presenting sponsors.
Oh wow, man,
So
helping
you
young
got
people.
different levels of sponsors.
Man, this is
Can
awesome.
people, I actually, because I know with
This is awesome,
fundraising and
man.
doing stuff, it's never over. Can people still like donate and sponsor and
Oh,
stuff, or is that
please, because we are just about to start a huge season. Because what are we seeing right now, Jody? You know, you come out and you help us a lot, and
sure
what we seeing now is food shortages and
everywhere?
food prices that are skyrocketing. So this is the perfect time. Um, they laughed at Noah, and the ark was needed.
That's right.
So my thing is, build it and people will come, because there is people that know why that holistic green space exists. It has served as a space for memorial, a memorial garden for people that would rather grieve at a space in nature. It has a lot of different uses. So it's not just for growing food. We will have a a big, huge shed installed that's going to be turned into a service building that's going to have 2 bathrooms. I'm actually working with UAW Local 4, and they are going to volunteer some services to make sure that we have 2 bathrooms and we're not renting a portal potty anymore, and
That's
that we'll
great.
have some electricity and we'll have a place to process our foods and have them available on Saturdays when our kids come out and open up Urban South Youth Farmers Market.
I know that will definitely help you out a lot. From the last couple of things is just trying to get everything ready for the. So I'm very happy for you on that. Also, shameless plug as well. Even though if you need some poetry, some good
That's
healing
right.
love, I'm available.
I, we would love we would love that on the second.
Good, good.
All right.
And if I
I
may,
think.
I would like to tell everybody how they can get tickets for day one. The
Oh,
Yes.
tickets are on
absolutely.
Eventbrite. And
Okay.
also on our website. If you want to avoid that Eventbrite fee, go ahead and purchase tickets on our website. The $20 will help with us bring these three. Oh, I forgot to. We talked about 3 guests, but we actually have 4. Our partners from Detroit is coming. Mama Raven, Regina, and Danielle will come and do a herb walk to show everybody that actually what they think they're stepping on is actual medicinal plants. And they will do a couple workshops with our community and spend 2 days with us. I'm gonna give a shout out to my daughter's business that will be there for the first and the second, called Set the Bar. And Set the Bar will be our hydration host, and they will make sure that we have nice drinks. And I will give a shout out for our grazing stations will be by Island Soul and
Oh
Jay's
man.
Catering.
Wow.
Awesome, Michaela.
Wow. Well,
We're definitely going to be posting that. think he's still on. Julian, if possible, could you throw that in this video's chat? And I'll make sure to post it and update, just like we are trying to get to that thing like we did Black
Right.
History Month, where
Right.
anything we see, it goes on the page, especially stuff like this.
Right.
People could be mad, not like it's
I
for one
created
reason,
a QR code.
Okay.
I think I'm lagging where you might not be able to hear me, but there's a QR code on the flyer to buy tickets. And if you just want to do it the old-fashioned way and go on and type in urbanholistics.org, just click on the flyer for Minority Health Month, and you'll be able to purchase tickets, apply to be a vendor. We are interested and health and wellness vendors, because this is the whole goal, is to make sure that we are spoiling our community with actual resources, tangible resources.
All right. My next question, and this is April 1st, family. And if you don't know, everybody's on Facebook, everybody's online. Do your research, find out who this sister is. Hey, listen. My next question, and I think we're coming up on our next break. Why Urban Holistics for Minority Health Month? Why is it that you felt that you needed to be the one of the point people for this month? I mean, it's awesome, but I always like to hear what was the thinking behind this.
Well,
why not?
I'll go first, and then I'll let Kristen close us out, because just like she said, why not? There isn't any events going on to cater towards our wellness. And if we want to talk about protest, we protest in a different type of way.
That's right.
We want to make sure that we're able to get up and protest in our own ways, because we can't do anything without being healthy. So being able to present what we have in our community as far as wellness resources, alternative resources, tailor-made nursing will be on site for health screenings. We have a whole day full of Jute Mode will produce our t-shirts that Kristen designed. We have a whole day full of loving on our community. And like Kristen said, why not? If we look and see if there's any more events going on for Minority Health Month, this is what we should be able to find all month long, is events that's catered towards Black and Brown wellness.
That's awesome. Kristen, same question.
I mean, I'm just gonna piggyback off of what she said. I just say that I'm gonna piggyback off of what she said.
Go ahead.
Everybody protests different, and this is how we are giving back to our community and setting an example as to how a successful organization like Urban Holistics can be great in the community.
Right.
And to show people that there's options out here available for lots of different things, for purchasing produce, for wellness, for the other number of things that we talked about. We have to show people that they have other options outside of what they have typically used. So we just need to put ourselves out there and let people know that Urban Holistics exists, and that we plan on being here for a long time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I like asking those questions, because people will come to an event having no idea the thinking and the mind that produced it. And I love hearing just the whole process of it. Sonia, and we're going to make sure that we post not only the new flyer with all of the new sponsors, but also the event also,
yes,
all right, on our page, because that's what we do, community solidarity. That's what it's about. Hey, sister, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I want to personally thank you for always supporting us, for always making sure that what we do is broadcast it to the masses, and we really appreciate the time spent here this evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Hey, family, that is our 7 o'clock
Oh,
hour. Go
I do
ahead.
want to say also, because as we are building our commercial list, if you have any commercials for Optio or for Urban Holistics, send it to Brother Washington. He loves playing with buttons, and then we can put you in the rotation as well.
I'll definitely
Okay.
take you up on that. We are having something created, and I'll
Yeah.
take you up on that and make sure you get that from us.
All right, awesome. All right. Now can I do my
Thank
little
you.
my outro? All right. Hey, listen, family. This is the CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. We'll be right back.
Did you know addiction
Bye.
is a disease, not a moral dilemma? The opioid epidemic and substance use have a major impact on communities of color and many people's lives. Wasion Wellness Recovery Support Center offers culturally relevant inpatient and outpatient behavioral health treatment and recovery support services to any Ohioan struggling with addiction, mental health, or finding sober safe housing. We must recognize that treatment is available and accessible to all. If you are in need of treatment or want to find out more information, you can call 1-888-728-2713 to talk to someone or schedule an appointment.
All right, we are back. This is CSRN, our weekly video minutes. This is our weekly podcast where we talk about So on the phone with us right now, we're going to make a shift and deal with the prison industrial complex. Myself, as a former confined citizen, one of the things that I wanted to do was once I got out, I wanted to reach back, Jody, because we've got some awesome brothers that's really doing some awesome work, and we've got one of them on the phone with us right now, Brother Omar. Hey, how you feeling, brother? Hey, I'm doing just fine. Hey, listen, we've got every week, Jody, we're getting new viewers. So if you could, brother, could you introduce yourself, who you are, and why are you still in the fight for justice, equality, and freedom?
All right, thank you, brother. Thank you for everybody putting together this wonderful platform. For those who don't know, my name is Omar Jed. Born May 6, 1984. My website, freeourbrothers.com. That's freeourbrothers.com. Both in Colorado's illicit lockup machine with no indictment machine, which they use to railroad people to prison, regardless of guilt or basically innocence, facts. Really, they just railroad people to prison, going around due process of law. The website exposes everything, brings it out in a simple way, but also touches on the constitutional issues that are at stake.
Yes, sir.
I'm still in the fight with freedom, justice, and equality because you say this month we're focusing on the power of our woman. My mother was a warrior. She always taught me to never give up, even though I watched her struggle with that cancer. And unfortunately, she passed away, but she never gave up to the very end. She just had a positive attitude, had faith in the Creator, and just made me aware of my responsibility just to never give up, keep fighting for myself and others.
Jody and I, and we've had Julian and Ruth are on, and everybody's listening to every word that you're saying. And once again, we really thank you, brother, for taking the time and calling and giving us an update on what's happening behind enemy lines and in the belly of the beast. When we talk about Women's History Month, from your view, how significant is the woman in our struggle? How significant is the woman as you see it?
Well, some people may have different views, but Elijah Muhammad teaches, and Minister Farrakhan teaches as well, that women are the second self of God. Me being a black man, first and foremost, original man, I have to, say that all women are wonderful and powerful, but I love my woman first and foremost, being the original man. They are the mothers of our civilization, the givers of life, the sustainers of the powers of the Creator. They pass that on to us, and women are very, very key, very important, because without them, we can't do a lot of the things we do. Their strength, their intelligence, just their power, they create and do so many wonderful things we don't even know about. I'm beginning to look back at things that my mother did and the other women have been doing and have done in the past, presently, in the present, and hopefully these gifts, these blessings come over into the future as well. And I think you reflect and soak it all up. It just hit me one day, and I told my fiance that I can't be her in loving, but thank God that she loves me.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey, listen, I've got a couple of minutes left, and I really want to talk about the letter that I got from you. Man, I'm so glad that we can correspond, not just online, but also through the mail. I appreciated your cover letter, letting the senders know, and if you're, for those who may be watching this, if you're employed at Toledo Correctional Institute, please abide by the laws and make sure that our brother's mail that's getting sent out, that everything is being sent out, that nothing is being that's not contraband is kept back. So I appreciate you adding that in the mail. And man, my next question is for you, Brother Omar. Man, why you? You could easily just do your time and get it all over with. Why did you decide not only to do your time, but also stand up for justice while you're there?
It's a real deep question, brother. The best way to sum it up is, when I think about, just the women, man, that are being affected by this system, women who may not necessarily have protectors behind bars out here in Colorado and beyond. And it's incumbent upon me, when I was blessed with the knowledge that freeourbrothers.com exposes, to not only to speak for myself, to shine a light on those who may not know what I know, and to help expose what's going on in these behind these walls, because it says freeourbrothers.com, but it's not just gender specific. It's not just about me. I'm fighting for everyone. And if I'm having these various struggles with this legal system and this beast behind these walls, I can imagine what goes on with the sisters. I hate to imagine. So
Right.
what I do is try to bring this forward, my brother, for them, for them first and foremost, for the children, and stand strong.
Well, brother, we have, as always, we appreciate everything that you do, and we continue communicating with Toledo Correctional Institution, with the inmates there. They are still not being able to communicate the way that they should. If you had anything to say to those brothers, some may have outdates. Some of the brothers there, they don't have an outdate, but they're still standing up right here in Toledo. If you had anything to say to them and their families right now, Brother Omar, what would you say to them and their families?
First and foremost, I want to say that the Creator is with all of us, each and every one of us. So I want families to know that with unity, we can accomplish anything, with our unity. We come together, pool our resources, just reflect on what we can do as a people to move forward. We can't overcome great odds, it's because, a judge in a black robe with a plan in mind.
Right.
Said it's over, doesn't mean it's over. So no, please support that, help they get out there. Thank you all.
And thank you, brother. And as always, revolutionary salute and shields up, brother.
Shield up. Thank you all.
Hey, once again, that's our brother Omar Gent, and you can view his page at freeourbrothers.com. Man, I don't know what happened with we didn't bring his page up, but you got a phone right in, in your hand. You got a computer right there. So log on to freeourbrothers.com. If you're on Instagram, Free Our Brothers with Omar Gent. If you're on Twitter, follow him on Twitter, family. Hey, listen, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back, Jody, with tying up some loose ends and maybe
see what Ruth and Julian is up to, if they got some thoughts on what's going on in the world and our community, stuff like that.
Right. And before we leave, please, family, on April 1st, Truth Gallery, join us in Urban Holistics. And hopefully next week, we're going to have on our sister Erica White.
Yeah.
All right, she's got her kickoff coming up.
Yep.
I think this month on the 12th. So,
but again, how we started the meeting. I know a whole bunch of stuff is going on with the political world, but
absolutely. So, listen, family, we'll be right back. Yep, this is the Community Solidarity Response Network. Our weekly video minutes. We'll be right back.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
Audio Jungle.
All right, we are back, man. Let's add Ruth and Julian to the chat, man. Hey, listen, family, we're back. This is CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. We are on kind of in our space where we do our tying up some loose ends.
Yep.
Anything
Checking in on everybody. Still haven't seen Ruth in forever. I saw that comment in the chat. Yep.
I know.
I'm totally out of that, but that's okay.
Man,
I'm
Jody
out
doesn't need a
of
street
a lot of
team or
stuff.
anything. Jody will let you know he does poetry
by himself.
Like, listen, Jody.
Look, if he's doing anything, he's gonna let you know. Hey, listen, look, I know I'm at a funeral, but I just want you guys to know that my new album is dropping. I'm like, bruh. But I love it.
I love it though. It's
amazing.
Necessity is the mother of invention. You know what I mean?
love it.
And Jody is like one of the most prominent poets. I mean, nationally recognized poet. You know what I mean? And that all came from him putting himself out there. You know what I mean? And he's done that all in the past 7-8 years. So, we have fun and we
March
joke,
23rd.
It's all respect and love, brother. You know what I mean? But we joke and love with you because we love you, man. And we
Hey, look, we become doctorates. Should we call you Dr. Ruth?
No,
that was
not
another
yet.
lady.
Not yet. No.
That was another lady, Dr. Ruth. But hey, listen, we are.
I like her more.
Okay, all right. Well, I was gonna say, well, we can't cancel ourselves, can we?
Yeah.
No.
Brother Washington, you try every week and you are unsuccessful.
I know, like the resident hater. All right, always bitter.
we have a lot of ends that are loose.
Right. I'm close to telling you guys to get off my yard. That's
Oh my gosh.
I feel like that. All right. But I'll be fighting that. I fight that old people stuff.
Now we got the mics and the buttons and stuff.
Yeah.
Right now. Y'all got
I've never paid attention to my face more on the podcast than now once I got this mic again. Like, because also I see the phone and everybody's message. So I'm just seeing the facial expressions and stuff. It's just different.
You can really hear the baritone in your voice with that microphone.
Big brown bear of a man.
Right. And, let me apologize to our viewers. Yes, family, we're wrapping this up. And whenever you hear us talking like this, that means that we don't have anything else to talk about.
I was waiting. No, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And I was waiting for Ruth to pop it off.
All right. So
Like,
we're gonna do a quick little wrap up. So this past week, it marked the 10-year anniversary since the killing of Trayvon Martin. For a lot of people, that also marked the beginning of your adventure into the realm of activism. We send love and positive energy to any and everyone who is out here fighting the good fight on behalf of Black lives, because Black lives do matter. We want to make sure.
I mean, the beginning of what we refer to as the Black Lives Matter movement. History books will show that started with Trayvon Martin. Right now, there's different iterations of this work that has always existed in this nation. Right. That's and beyond. But in this particular format, right, Trayvon Martin, his life caused the beginning of a racial reckoning here in America, right? And so it has been 10 years since then.
Yes.
And that's significant.
So we definitely did not want that date to go past without acknowledging it. Also, recently, Julian and I have been attending different events dealing with the U.S. Senate race with Morgan Harper, who is going up against terrible human being.
No. So Morgan Harper's in the primary right now, and there's a potential opponent of Tim Ryan, but she's been debating the terrible human being known as Josh Mandel.
Yeah, so he's a terrible person. Yeah. However, there is an amazing article in this month's Essence, and you can also read it online, about the fact that Morgan Harper could be the only Black woman in the U.S. Senate if she were
that she wanted to say real quick. And yeah, so yes, ma'am. I heard what you said.
Oh, that's the first time I've ever heard him call you ma'am. But
I'm a fan.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, this is not a drill. You know what I mean? And Morgan, whether or not we have a Black woman in the U.S. Senate just depends on us.
Yes.
You know, and that's a big deal.
Yes. Speaking of Black women in positions of power, give a huge shout out to Ketanji Brown, who is the candidate for Supreme Court Justice. She was chosen by Joe Biden. And so right now we're going to see how long it takes to get her through the approval process. Hopefully it can be just as quick as Amy Barrett Conan or who's that?
It's already not as quick as that.
Who's the crybaby dude?
I told you, he got buttons now.
Kavanaugh.
That was applause. That was applause.
Okay. Anything?
Yeah, TPD shot a man this week. Basically, the situation is he was setting off firecrackers. TPD showed up, and he had a knife, and TPD used that as a reason or just cause to, shoot this man to the point where he's in critical condition right now. Right, so that is not going to be swept under the rug.
Right.
This is very significant. And
I just got an alert on my phone. It says that Juwan Armour steps down as Toledo's leader against gun violence. Toledo City Council member John Hobbs, the third, announced Armour put in his 2 weeks notice during a city council meeting on today, saying city leaders had failed him.
Yeah. Okay. And let's talk about that real quick. Hold on. This is an important point I think we need to make. I know we're running short on time. This is something else I got to pop in. But let's be clear. Brother Arm, like we talk about these alternatives to more policing a lot, and this was one of the things that the Kapsakavich administration tried to do. Let's just say, it was successful in that Junction area neighborhood where incidences of violent crime are at I believe, a 4-year low right now, right? Just if you take what's happened since the violence interrupters started doing that work, that is a quick turnaround and a significant difference in a really short period of time. Right. I highly doubt we've seen similar amount of resources go towards more policing, and we don't see any safer communities because of that. But the point that we've been trying to make is that when we invest that money in our community and empower people from our community, it creates a safer community. And the numbers and what Brother Armour has done in this community actually shows that. And I would just say it's a shame, right, that he hasn't been given the proper tools and that there's so much political bureaucracy around this brother's success that he felt like his hands were tied behind his back and that he was left with no other choice to step down. The sophistication of white supremacy and of the standard status quo does that so often to so many well-meaning Black folks all the time, right? And that is why it's so important that our unity is our strength, because a lot of these battles we can't fight alone. But I commend Brother Armour for the work you did in turning around and turning around a terrible trend and protecting so many lives in our community.
Right.
What was it, last month?
Yeah. And also shout out to Brother Juwan. And we'll have him. We'll have him on. Mm-hmm. If you really want to know, we'll just have him on. and he'll talk about. It's a great chance he'll talk about the addition of the safety director with the former fire chief and his assistant as being one of those things that moves him out. If that was his thing, then why hire these two in? So um, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll have Brother Juwan on, and if he'd like to, that's fine. If he doesn't, I'll just tell it like it is, because that's what happens once you get successful in something. They'll tell you, okay, we got it from here.
Yep.
And they'll show you in different ways. And we can even bring up our sister Benice Williams, who was one of our Black Lives Matter recipients, and what she did at Life Skills, showing her excellence in administrating. Then they'll say, "Hey, listen, we got it from here," but they'll let you know in other ways.
Yeah.
So,
it's
yep.
I don't know. I don't want to call, because I love to leave it too much, small town theory or minded, but I don't know.
Yeah.
People who have big dreams here can only get so big before it's like, well, we want some of that attention.
As long as your dream is attached to somebody else.
Right.
Now, for Jody, nobody's stopping you from dreaming.
No.
But if I hitch my wagon to you and I'm trying to fulfill my dreams, it's a great chance I'm going to be disappointed. I need to have my own dreams. So thank you for mentioning that, and we'll send a text out to brother, see if he wants to come on. We love him. All right.
One final thing.
Two final things.
Okay, two final things. So the 3 former Minneapolis police officers were found guilty of violating George Floyd's civil rights. With any luck, they will have a judge that is more aware of the consequences of their lack of action and recognize the importance of George Floyd's life, so that they do not have the same sentencing as Kim Porter, who I believe
that's her name,
murdered Dwayne Wright, and the judge was crying and so empathetic towards her position as a police officer that she gave her a sentence of 2 years, and I believe that was with time served. So I am hopeful that the sentencing of the 3 former Minneapolis police officers is more in line with how they would have been treated had they been George Floyd.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then just lastly, I think it's just important that we remember imperialism. All right. This week, the United States, there's lots of talk about war, destruction. The United States bombed Somalia for the first time, the second time since Joe Biden has been president. Of course, this comes on the backdrop of Russia invading Ukraine. When they ask themselves, what's this got to do with Black people, right? There are there's a lot of Black. If as of right now, the United States has not sent any troops over there, but we know that disproportionately there's a high percentage of Black folks that are American troops. Okay, 1. 2, there are Black people that live in Ukraine.
Yep.
Okay, and I don't know how else to say this, but there is a lot of racism against Black people and anti-Blackness in Ukraine. All right, there are many right-wing extremist groups. Right, I think we also have to be careful because there's Putin is essentially using as propaganda that these are Nazis as an excuse. There's like this sliver of truth that happens when there's psychological warfare. But I just want to say really one brief thing about this that I think is really important. Um, Russia has been, and this is just my opinion and my view only. Russia has been um, under, conducting psychological warfare on Americans for quite some time, since about 2013, 2014. All right. Originally, the reason why them and Russia aren't getting along is because Russia practiced this cyber warfare and tipping the scales of the Ukrainian election in 2014, which is where they originally protest, because there were two candidates and one wanted to move more towards joining the European Union. Um, Essentially, Russia used that same playbook here in America in 2016, right? By using different bots on social media accounts to sway the public opinion. Um, this is straight facts. One of the largest, quote unquote, and I use quote unquote very loosely, pages for Black Lives, well, that was considered a Black Lives Matter page, was a Facebook page called Black Matters back in 2016. Not one black person ran this page. This was an entirely Russian ran page that essentially was discouraging, um, that was encouraging black folks not to was encouraging black folks to vote for Jill Stein and against Hillary Clinton. Um, like I said, there are slivers of truth that get exaggerated in this type of psychological warfare that's happening over these cyber lines. So I do think it's very important that we be aware of what's happening psychologically, right, on these interwebs during times like this, and how that may be impacting us. Um, and I'll talk more about this at some later date, but that's my 2 cents for now, y'all.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome.
And also, y'all too. I want to say, if you see something, our pages like to see something, say something. Think of it that way. So if you think it's passionate enough to put on our page until we can start interacting more with people and having breaking bread sessions and everything, post it on the page. Because
And tonight's the State of the Union. I think it probably will be an interesting one.
Okay.
Probably. I mean,
there's a lot going on in America.
Yeah, for sure.
And in the world. Yeah. So
people need to figure out what things you're talking about. So don't get me a drink of water while Brother Washington introduces what 5 minutes of heat is.
Oh, I had no idea that that's what I was going to do. All right. Okay. Well, all right. Thank you, Jody. Get your water. All right.
Okay, really quickly. I hate to do this right now, but Julian and I do have another engagement to go to. However, we wanted to make sure that we were able to attend tonight's meeting. Jody, I will definitely be watching your 5 minutes of heat as soon as I'm done with my stuff and Julian's done with his stuff. But I like that shirt on the chair, Brother Washington. Keep up the good work.
All right, thank you.
So excited about all the new equipment.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing everybody again
for sure.
Really soon.
We need to break bread.
All right. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank you, sis.
All right, y'all.
All right. All right, family, we are back. We are back with what we call 5 minutes of heat. This is how we close out our meetings, not necessarily with a gavel or with a meeting adjourned. We use creative expression, and I think that there's no better way of closing out a meeting than to have some spoken word by our resident spoken word artist, Jody Summers, child of the system, spoken truth. What do you have for us today? And just from some fact checking, the police officer that fatally shot Dante Wright, that was Kimberly Potter. All right, and we're going to continue following what's going on here in Toledo and bringing some more facts about what's happening here. And if there's anything that we can do to hold the Toledo Police Department accountable for what they do, then that's on us as taxpayers. All right, they work for us.
All righty, everybody. So, see, I was over here yelling at him while I was getting some water. Could I forget without headphones? I can't hear the show.
Right, absolutely.
So I'm guessing Ruth was talking. I'm just yelling at him, like, say privacy. But either way, art is life. It can change your mood from one emotion to another in just a few words.
Right.
So, in honor of Women's History Month, which is kind of like, as I see it, a Mother's Day month. So, if you don't want to be celebrating, hey, it's Women's History Month, something to make, celebrate your mom.
That's right.
Adopted, natural birth, whatever the case may be, step aunt, sister, whatever, stuff like that. I mean, like your own family members. I know people who own family became their own, like, siblings, mother, in a symbolic sense like that,
right,
because they had nobody else. So celebrate those people. So this is my piece on that. It's called Mom. It's I guess the most expressive way that I could celebrate the woman that gave me life.
Oh, beautiful.
So let's begin. Peace. Sometimes, yes, sometimes when I'm just getting up and life is a little bit foggy, I can remember, yes, remember the perfume you wore. If I concentrate hard enough, I can just see a smile looking down on me, reminding me that everything is going to be okay. When the nights are cold and I feel alone, I can just imagine, imagine the kisses you left on my cheek. But I don't remember your voice anymore. I can't remember how it gave me strength as a child. I've heard so many voices and so many sounds that pierce different parts of me. Even if I've only heard them once. It's like a memory I can't hold on to. Those 5 seconds, 5 seconds where you're so immersed in your dream, and then it's gone before you could even say it out loud. This memory that was so vivid, complex, and filled with life is now a scattered screen of fragmented pixels, just daring you to find a pattern. Sadly, I become numb to the outside sources. They just don't fit the pitch I'm looking for. And even though I know that sound can never be repeated, I still remember your face. The favorite food you loved. The artist you would blast loudly as you rapidly cleaned the house. I could even remember your nickname for me. But the vibrations in which you spoke escaped me. I still carry a picture. It has never left my side, reminding me that no matter where I go, I will always have a piece of you. A recorded piece of history of the woman that gave me life, which I shall keep with me until the day that I die. And even when my heart feels like giving up, I can look in my wallet for the most valuable piece of parchment I own. There's a picture of you and me. Love you, Mom. Miss you, Mom. It's not poetry. It's the thoughts, the thoughts in my head that I only share with the people who care. In peace.
All right. Thank you, Jody. Man, that's powerful. And yes, it is Women's History Month, and we don't necessarily have to be the quote unquote civil rights, icons in order to be a part of history.
I am Black History.
Right. For anybody that wants to support, if you enjoy this podcast, and if you like to support what we do, you can assist us via Cash App. That's hashtag CSRN 419. PayPal is CSRN 419, and help us do this work. If you find it valuable, what we do in the community, and if you like to assist us, we will definitely really appreciate it helping us do this.
And if you want to remain anonymous that way, like we mentioned, go to the Urban Credit Federal Union.
Yeah, Toledo Urban. Yep.
Donation to CSRN.
Right. You can do it that way too. Hey, listen, as always, we're going to close out with our solidarity pledge. This is our contract with ourselves. I'm going to start by saying your name, and hey, let's get it done.
Yep.
All right. Say I, your name,
Jody.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
As I love myself.
As I love myself.
I,
your
name,
Jay Summers.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To study.
To study.
To improve myself.
To improve myself.
Spiritually.
Spiritually.
Mentally.
Mentally.
Morally.
Morally.
And physically.
And physically.
For the benefit of myself.
For the benefit of myself.
My family.
My family.
And my people.
And my people.
I,
your
name,
child of the system,
pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To be a part of the solution.
To be a part of the solution.
The process.
The process.
And not the problem.
And not the problem.
I, your name,
spoken truth,
pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To give all that I can spare.
To give all that I can spare.
Of my time.
Of my time.
My strength.
My strength.
And energy.
And energy.
To achieve.
To achieve.
The above said.
The above said.
Thank you, family, for having us on your screen, and give yourselves a hand. If you're out there, I'm going to give you a hand for consistently supporting us. CSRN Community Solidarity Response Network. And as always, all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. And Black lives can't matter until
all Black lives matter.
Justice or else.